A partial rebuild of a Stuart 10V steam engine Part 3, cleaning up the machined cast parts using various methods. Working on the piston and rod, I decided to fit a silicone O-ring to the piston. Despite the drain outlets being in the wrong place, I grooved the piston for one of the O-rings that I bought on my recent visit to Blackgates Engineering. I enlarged the holes in the steam chest so that they align with the studs that secure the assembly to the cylinder. I need to do what should have been done when the engine was first made. I need to clean up all the mating surfaces on the cast parts because the fits are not very good. First of all, I use 400 grit wet to dry sandpaper, followed by using my whetstone. The liquid you can see on the whetstone is 3-in-1 oil as a lubricant so that it cuts better. I wipe the part with a piece of kitchen roll frequently to remove the oil from the part, including all the debris. It's important to keep the whetstone fairly clean. You don't want to just keep going at it and hoping it comes out okay in the end. It's very important to monitor the job as you do it. Here is an important part. The port face was a joke. Not only was it nowhere near flat, it was also covered in the stuff that's all over these parts, and I do think it's some sort of glue. It's not very much like any sealant I've ever seen. Here I'm cleaning up the steam chest, first of all on the 400 grade wet to dry sandpaper, which is really not making much impression on this sealant. I tried scraping it off with a steel rule, then I used the whetstone, but it was still a problem. I also want to remove the paint from this part, so there is a simple solution to this job. And no, it's not to use a rotary scouring pad. This wasn't very effective for removing the paint on the top cylinder cover. There's only one thing for it. I need to immerse all these parts in a powerful solvent, and it just so happens right next to where I'm working I have a tub with a lot of this in it. It's actually a food container, and it contains cellulose thinners, so I put all of the parts in here. I thought I would try and clean up the steam chest cover. This seemed very simple, but it hadn't been cleaned up very well in the first place when it was made. Whoever machined this left a bit of a pip in the middle, as you can see. After rubbing this part for quite a while on the 400 grade wet to dry sandpaper, the pip disappeared, but I couldn't really effectively get rid of the glue. I put it with the other parts in the tub of cellulose thinners. I think the time has come to have a look at the Eccentric sheave. This is not good at all. The Eccentric strap is fine, but the groove in the sheave is too wide, and this small screw in the end of the strap is not successfully aligning the strap with the sheave. I'm going to remake the sheave, I think. What to do about the piston? I want to keep most of these parts where possible original. I tried a thin O-ring, then I looked at the O-rings that I bought at Blackgates Engineering and selected a 3/4 of an inch outside diameter O-ring. I will groove the piston in my lathe to take this. While I was at Blackgates Engineering buying various things, I bought another set of these stainless steel laser cut spanners. All you do is cut them out, clean them up on a grinder, and then you have a set of spanners. I have 2 workshops, and for some items like these small spanners, it's a good idea to double up on the quantity. The piston and cylinder are 3/4 of an inch in diameter, and here is the O-ring I'm going to use, 3/4 of an inch OD. And I'm pleased to say that the outside diameter fits perfectly in the cylinder. I wasn't going to fit an O-ring because the problem is, here is one side of the cylinder that isn't drilled for drain cocks, and when I turn it round you can see that the other side has been drilled, but in the wrong place. The holes drilled into the cylinder are too far down the cylinder bore. Here I'm illustrating this with a scriber point. It should be a little bit further up, but I figured out, and I'm hoping that where the O-ring contacts the cylinder, it doesn't contact the holes in the cylinder. This next bit is a puzzle. Why isn't the piston rod screwed fully into the cylinder? The reason is there are 2 threads. I think the builder of this engine was a bit short of equipment. Believe it or not, what you're looking at now is a 7BA thread that opens up to a 5BA thread. The piston rod is the right length and it's the right diameter, 5/32 of an inch. I grooved the piston in the lathe to take the O-ring, and here I'm filling the groove with steam oil. Never use machine oil, engine oil or general lubricating oil, always steam oil. This clip shows me cleaning out the cylinder bore just to smooth it out a little bit with a rotary scourer. The piston, complete with this O-ring, is a perfect fit. I rethreaded the piston rod so it goes all the way through the piston. And just in case you're wondering what the small hole is in the end of the piston rod in the piston, once I fitted the piston rod in the chuck, I centre drilled the end to use a live centre to support the piston while I used a parting tool to groove it. Over now to enlarging the holes in the steam chest. These holes are a very tight fit on the studs and they're also full of the glue stuff. I think that when this engine was assembled, quite a few of the parts didn't fit, so glue was the answer. The threads on the 4 studs didn't match the thread that had been cut in the casting, so the steam chest and steam chest cover was assembled, and then as the glue set, it seemed to be okay. I don't think it's a recommended solution because it's just as easy to get it right as it is getting it wrong, provided, like me, you've had plenty of experience. I asked the owner whether he wanted me to paint the top of the cylinder cover or leave it all in brass, and he opted for the brass option. I may have to make some new studs because these are not quite long enough. Part of the thread into the cylinder is not serviceable, so I had to thread it a bit deeper, which made the studs go further into the block. I will make a new set of studs that are the right length. Just to sign off, I'd like to say I knew this engine wasn't right, that's why I took it upon myself to say I'll fix the engine for no charge. The only thing I didn't spot was all the glue everywhere holding all the parts together, but never mind, that's it for now. Stay safe, stay healthy, thanks for watching and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists, and by doing that you can find other videos that you may like to watch, and by using the playlists you can actually watch the videos back to back.